Welcome, Chosen One.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of my Price of Power Once Upon a Pyre leak / reveal review, I guess. I don't have an official name for it. We've just today gotten the final 2 Northern Realms cards. Combine those with the 2 from yesterday, and we have the full 4. The Fantastic 4. And I'm just going to be talking about them, my opinions on them, my thoughts on them, and of course share any rumored information that I have come across regarding these cards, the faction, the game, because I do read Reddit a lot, especially during reveal season, and I pick up on some rumors that I really hope are true. As you can see, somebody's online. That's a nice cameo. If you are watching that, stop playing Gwent when I'm recording. Anyway, Northern Realms theme for this expansion is going to be mages, and I guess spells as a continuation of that. And the first one, I'm going to do these in like a random order. So this first card is the last one to actually be revealed. It is Istrid. You see 6 for 7. This is Northern Realms epic card. Zeal and Patience. Patience is the brand new keyword, which is very cool. It's similar to some cards that we have in the game already. It does work slightly differently, so they probably won't slap this keyword on those cards because it works differently enough. But basically, Patience means that for every turn this unit is on the board, and you haven't used the order effect, increase the specified value by 1 permanently. And in this case, order draw 1 card, then shuffle back 1 card. The brackets indicate that this 1 will increase. Every turn you don't use this guy, that number will increase. So he has Zeal, you can use him right away, or you can wait 1 turn and he'll draw 2, shuffle 2. You can wait 9 turns, and I think you can guess what happens. And he does have a passive effect. Whenever you draw a unit card, boosted by 1. If it's not a unit, boost self by 1 instead. This is interesting. Obviously very similar to Snowdrop, and also combos nicely with Snowdrop. And seeing this card, seeing some Reddit comments about it, and on the Discord server, of course, it really did get me thinking. Northern Realms could probably play a pretty good Snowdrop deck. Unlike Nilfgaard, they can't get double Snowdrop. Excuse me. But instead they have Istrid, which is very similar. Gains points for drawing cards. We have Griffin Witcher Mentors, of which you can play 2. You can also play Kercerin. You can of course play Mata. Pincer Maneuver does specify that it draws cards, so that's 2 triggers. By the way, if you have a Snowdrop on the board, Pincer Maneuver becomes an 8-point leader, as opposed to 10. What? As opposed to 4. And with Istrid as well, it becomes a 10-point leader. So this is really cool. I think we all were able to see how Pincer Maneuver, the new version, was received by the players. People were happy to see new cool consistency effects for Northern Realms, because the faction has been struggling a little bit to draw their top-end golds. And Pincer Maneuver, while being a 4-point leader in itself, the hand fixing is just really, really good. And this is just playing more into that. Pretty solid card by itself. Slap it down, 7 for 7. Or you want to be greedy? Go for it. Really, just go for it. Beautiful art as always. And Patience. It's a very cool keyword. I see, some people, and we'll talk more about this later with another card that I'll be talking about, but A lot of people are really, I think, undervaluing patience as a keyword. Like, I know, like, not everybody can be as ecstatic about new keywords as me. But I really think it's a really cool one. I really do. And Istrid, while not the most spectacular card, I think it's a good card. It's a cool use of the patience keyword. It's a good consistency tool. And I think this may be the final piece of the puzzle for Northern Realms to actually have like a cool mata. Jesus, when I'm rambling, I don't think as much before I talk because I got to keep it efficient. Snowdrop NR can maybe finally have a pretty good Snowdrop deck. That would be interesting to see. And one more thing about patience. I did see someone post a screenshot from a Twitter thread where the devs are answering questions related to the expansion. And when patience says that it permanently increases the specified value, that also includes if the card goes to the graveyard. So, like, if you get Istrid to drawing 5 cards and shuffling 5 cards, then you can use Renew on them and do it again. It's probably not worth it. It's going to be more worth it with bronzes. But I just wanted to mention that. Apparently that's how it works. That's potentially really awesome. And I think we're going to jump to the next card. Which is... Bannard Student. This is the common of the set. There was a little bit of a mishap. You can see it is shown as rare. This is the common. It is a human mage, 4 power, 4 provisions. It has patience, order, melee, damage an enemy unit by 0. So this one doesn't have zeal. You play it down 4 for 4. With the patience, the order damage goes up to 1. And then next turn, it's a worse Adernian Mauler. Okay. Maybe not that good, huh? Wait one more turn. It's a worse Adernian Mauler because it took 2 turns to get there. But then suddenly you get, okay, 3 damage. 4 damage. Now, is it realistic that this card will survive for that long? Both yes and no. I mean, it's roll locked, only 4 strength. Sure, it's vulnerable. But it's 4 provisions. This will most of the time not trade down to removal. Like, the cheapest removal in the game is 4 provisions. If they spend that on this, then they're not getting a good trade on one of your 5 provision engines later on. This is a removal magnet at 4 provisions. And if they do not actually deal with it, the synergy this has with another one of the leaked cards, not leaked, revealed. They're revealed, not leaked. The synergy that it has with that card, as well as just basic, already existent bronze resurrection spells, offering, if you want to go that path, and necromancy, which is a spell, very fitting with the mage theme. And if patience truly is permanent even when the unit dies, you can just bring this back. If you get it to 4 damage, you can bring it back in a later round, still dealing 4 damage. In fact, 5, because it'll be on the board for at least 1 turn. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, this card, I don't know how much play it will see. I think 4 provisions has become kind of a strange place in decks. And this card doesn't really serve a purpose that isn't already being served by multiple 4 provision cards already in the faction. Obviously, Adernian Mauler, Ballista. But this does have, that engine-like effect where you can leave it on the board for a few turns, and it will be worth more than those cards. I mean, I think it's good. I think it is really good. And sure, it dies. It's very easily removed. But it's a 4 provision card. You don't care if this gets removed. A lot of the time, you probably enjoy the fact that this gets removed. Because that just increases the likelihood that one of your bigger things are going to survive. Again, gorgeous art. And, you know, I just want to say another thing about Northern Realms in relation to this expansion, these new cards, this new keyword. I haven't seen this actually confirmed. But, I mean, the devs have said that they're going to be doing some reworks for NR, right? And that the cards in these coming expansions are going to be related to that. So obviously I think patience is going to play a big role. But I have seen rumors that around 20-ish NR cards may be reworked with this expansion. One of those being Rune Word, which is a card that'll be relevant later in this video. But obviously one thing that, if you just look at these 4 new cards in a vacuum, not even a vacuum, if you just look at them within the context of current Gwent, current NR mages specifically, they don't fit in. But that's really just because NR mages doesn't really have that much of an identity. But hopefully, and you know, most likely, a lot of those cards that are getting reworked are going to be related to mages. And maybe just sprinkle some extra units that could use patience on top. I think that's what's going to happen. I would love to see that. They have said, you know, on the record, they're going to do stuff to NR. And it's going to be related to future expansions. And they are still doing a proper balance patch alongside the expansion. And will that include some reworks of existing cards? I hope so, and I do think so. But just, you know, I'm not making any promises on behalf of people that I shouldn't be making promises on behalf of. But I do want to share this information because it's very much related to these new cards. And I know a lot of people who watch my channel don't read Reddit as sporadically as I do, so I just want to share, make sure everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's happening. Bannard Student is a really cool card, as far as 4 provision cards go. Will it be playable? I think it's playable. I think it's very much playable, but I think really it comes down to the mage tag, and if there are going to be some new reworks that affect patience in a positive way. Jojo Bits, thank you for popping up. But because right now I don't think anyone, like, just looking at the existing cards, the existing decks, I don't know if anyone would really bother substituting this guy in there. But he's a consideration for a 4 provision card. And if any of his unique tags and keywords become relevant in future decks, then I think it's going to be great. Next card. Gerhardt of Heile. Ale? Ale? I don't know. This is the legendary. And this guy is cool. 7-11. Great number combination there. Human Mage, Zeal Patience. Order, create, and play a 4 provision spell. And the provision cost of that spell is the number that's being affected by patience. Oh, I love this card. I love this card. This guy is awesome. This guy is awesome. Currently, the only 4 provision spells in the game are Rune Word and Pact. With Pact, which you are guaranteed to get in a create pool with only 2 cards, you can just slam this guy down as a 13 for 11. That is good point slam. That is good point slam. And if you're playing against Nilfgaard, Skellige Warriors, you were unable to stick your defender on the board. You know this guy's going to get dealt with. Just pop his order right away. Just do it. It's 13 points. And, again, as I believe I mentioned, Rune Word is seemingly getting reworked. Maybe into a playable card. In which case, this guy being able to create it, even better. It's so good. But if you're playing against, something a little bit greedier, and you really feel confident that you're able to stick the 7 strength unit on the board for a few turns, add in shield wall, 9 strength and a shield, will you be able to stick that on the board? Did you stick a defender on the board beforehand? If you feel confident, if you feel greedy, and if you know your opponent most likely cannot deal with this, of course, Heatwave does exist. Heatwave will continue to exist forever. Accept it. I haven't, but I should. Pop him down. Have fun with it. If he does get heat waved, you're only trading down 1 provision. It's not the end of the world. And he can create some awesome spells. So he only creates special cards with the spell category. Rune Word and Pact. And then at 5 provisions we have Forbidden Magic. We have the new card that I'll be showing you next. Artifact Compression. Alzur's Thunder. Probably something else. At 6 we have Stammelford's Tremors. If you're playing against Swarm and you're able to stick this guy on the board for just a couple of turns, you get a guaranteed Stammelford's Tremors. At 7 we have Necromancy. At 8 we have Becker's Dark Mirror, Becker's Rock Slide, Alzur's Double Cross. At 9 Yennefer's Invocation, Curse of Corruption. At 10, do we have any at 10? I think we do. I just can't think of it right now, but at 11 we have Scorch. And I mean, speaking of greedy matchups, if you're playing against V, you can almost certainly play this guy very safely down. Let him stick on the board for, 7 turns? So he gets to 11. And I think at 11, it's just like Uma's Curse and Scorch. So like you're guaranteed to get it. Maybe you have some mages with some charges and some pings. And you just set up a big Scorch. Alright? At 12, you have Blue Dream. Not amazing. And Renew. Not amazing. And if you're a really, really, really edgy person, play this guy first turn round 1. And if he sticks until he reaches the 13 provision spell. A Neuromancy, baby. A Neuromancy. Doesn't that sound good? And this is the card I was talking about where people are really saying that it's bad because, Northern Realms just keeps getting these cards that they just get killed. They just get so easily countered. He doesn't. Again, 13 for 11. Maybe more if Rune Word becomes really good after the rework. 13 for 11, at least. If you fear the removal. That's good. That is a good card. That's a really good card. And then if you are playing against greedy opponents, you can get greedy. It's a flexible card. If your opponent is greedy, you get greedy. And your greed is going to hella pay off. If you're playing against point slammy opponents, or I guess more specifically removal based opponents, this guy becomes a point slammy card. Which is good against removal decks, you know what I'm saying? It's great. It's great. It's a good card. I love it. I can't wait to do some shenanigans with this guy. And for our last card, Casting Contest. And before I get into this, I just want to say, it is a shame we're only getting 4 cards per faction, because For the two factions we've seen, I have liked every card. I want every card in the game, and I'm thrilled that we're getting it. But I wanted more. I mean, I just want more because it's so good. But then you have to think, is it so good because it's not more? Were they able to make these interesting, cool designs because they didn't have to make as many cards? Part of me thinks yes, in which case I'm grateful. But you know what? I would rather have 4 cool cards per faction, plus a couple of cool neutrals, than, you know, oppressive cards, game-breaking cards, and some trash filler cards. Anyway, casting contest. Again, this has the wrong gem. This is the rare. It's a 5 provision spell. Boost an ally unit by 5 if it's a bronze. Reset its order ability and give it zeal. What can you do with this card? Well, you can play an Adernian Mauler or a Ballista. Next turn, use the order, casting contest, use the order again, and you get 4 damage removal. That's one thing. This card plays for 7. Not amazing, but not terrible. Not bad at all. You can go a little bit more edgy. If you're going Devotion, you can play Carrick Marine with the boost by 4. This becomes a 9 for 5. If you use it on a Revenant with a 1-string target to kill, again, 9 for 5 plus an extra Revenant. It's pretty good. And of course, the new card, the Bannard boy. If you get his order effect, if you get his patience effect up to, you know, some decently high damage, you can just use casting contest as high value removal. If you get him to 5 damage, which, I mean, when will you ever do that? But if you do, this becomes an Alcer's Thunder that also boosts an ally by 5. I'm just saying. I think it's a neat card. You just gotta remember, like, this card is reset a bronze unit's order ability and give it zeal. That's what the card is. The boost by 5 is just to give it a decent floor. It has a floor of 5 points for 5 provisions, which is not game-losingly bad. It's just to give it a floor. It's just to make it, you know, not a dead card if you don't have bronze units with order effects. But the effect of the card is resetting a bronze unit's order effect and giving it zeal. The boost by 5, yes, it's boring. Yes, it's boring and even kind of bad if you end up going too tall. But that's just there to add points to an effect that doesn't generate enough points on its own. And in some cases, will grant you no points. That's what the boost by 5 is. Now, I do want to highlight one thing that I love about this card. And that's the art. Again, I'm going to say this for every card that I talk about. The art in this expansion is amazing. But I want to zoom in a little bit here. So, these guys are casting spells with their feet, right? I read someone talking about this. That is something that actually happens in the books or something. That they get drunk, they try to cast spells with their feet. They seem kind of successful. But then you have this mad lad right here. Both his feet planted firmly on the ground with no blue glow around them. But there is a blue glow. Something is glowing blue. Something is doing some magic. And I do believe it is the penis. Who doesn't love a good penis joke, huh? I mean, I mean, these guys are having a fucking party, dude. Look at how much fun they're having. It's really cool. It's nice to see stuff like that. It's like, you know, you read the name casting contest, and it could be like a very formal, educational, alright, who can cast this spell the best? Or it can be a bunch of drunk guys casting spells with their foot and their dick. Both work, and I think they chose the right variant. So casting contest, I like this. I like this. And again, I mean, I already like it with the cards that we have in the game and the new bronze unit that we have with this expansion. But we have to keep in mind, we are going to get some reworks. Maybe some better order effects. Maybe some more patience-related order effects on bronze units that will make this card even more relevant. Give it even more potential. It's pretty good. So, those are the Northern Realms cards from Once Upon a Pyre. Let me know down below what you thought. I like all of these. Like, I guarantee you, I'm gonna say this for every single video. That's the 7 I used. Scrolled a little bit too far there. It's not even supposed to be in that folder. I'm probably gonna say that I like every single card. And of course, I hope that's the case. I want to like them all. And I do so far. We've seen 8. And I've liked 8. Next up is going to be monsters. I don't know if this has been announced publicly, but I don't think it's a secret either. We're going to get 2 monsters reveals tomorrow and then 2 on Saturday. And I'll be back on Saturday to talk about the monsters cards. And then Monday and Tuesday are going to be Nilfgaard. On Wednesday and Thursday, Skellige. And on Wednesday, that's my reveal. I don't know which card it is. I just know it's Skellige. It's happening on Wednesday next week. And then, of course, the developers themselves will take care of Scoia'tael and the 2 neutrals next weekend. I am very much excited. I like the designs that are happening in this expansion. Just in general, I mean, like the reworks we've been getting lately as well. And some of the new cards that we've been getting. Not all of them. They're showing this design philosophy, or like this approach to design that is really refreshing to see, because Gwent in the past has really struggled with being interesting in its designs. But I think they've gotten a lot better. And I am legitimately hyped for all of these cards. I really am. Alright, ramble ended. Thank you for watching. Once again, do let me know down below what you think about the new Northern Realms cards. Are you excited, like I am? Or are you a little bit on the fence? Or do you just straight up hate them? You're allowed to do that. I mean, people have various expectations for expansions. And, you know, I try not to. All I expect and want is just something new, something fresh, something interesting. And I feel like I'm getting it so far. So I hope everybody's satisfied, but I of course, completely understand if somebody is not too hyped. You know, it could be more hyped, but of course, do keep in mind, we've only seen 2 factions, or 4 factions to go, plus 2 neutral cards. Hopefully there's going to be something for you out there. Just wait and see. Stay patient. And I was very unsure how long I was going to hold that. It's not even a good joke. I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Will there be more gameplay before the expansion? I haven't fully decided, but I think yes. But I'm not going to promise anything. But of course, you will be seeing me every other day-ish to talk about the new cards. So I do hope to see you again either tomorrow if I feel very, very generous and in the mood. But definitely Saturday, monsters reveals. We're gonna get some witches. Potentially the mother of the crones. That sounds really cool. I'm down with that. I hope to see you then. And until then, have a good one.